This podcast is brought to you by Wild Education and by the Foundation for World Harmony.
Come with me to discover the transformative power of kindness and the joy it brings. Join me as we explore every Monday morning simple yet profound ways to elevate your happiness, one gesture at a time.
Wow, fantastic baby, dance. I'm gonna dance. Fantastic baby.
Welcome to another episode of The Complete Guide to Happiness. Hope you had a happy week. I didn't have a happy week, I gotta say. I was hospitalized for some surgery, and I'm still recovering. But mentally, I'm always positive. Physically, pain comes and goes, and you got to deal with it. So I hadn't had a happy week, I got to say. But I hope you had a happy week, and hopefully this show will bring you some happiness, because I got two fantastic guests that are Californians that are living in Gambia. So you're going to meet them. For the quote of the day, I want to say it is about love, because if you're in love, I'm sure you're happy, because to be in love is a really fantastic thing. And who is it that said this? Epicurus or Epictetus or some Greek philosopher. He said, "One word frees us all from the weight and pain of life." And that word is love. Wouldn't it be great to have no pain in life? This last week would have been fine enough for me. And then I wrote, as I usually do, my own little quote. "Two words can save humanity. Be kind." And these two folks you're going to meet coming up here are very kind, very health conscious, same age as I. And what age am I? That's a good question. I think like a 26-year-old still, act like a 26-year-old, but I'm a little older than that. I know I look 35 and all that good stuff. So yeah, it was a tough week for me, but I'm getting through it. I've got a couple of interviews today, and I make my life easy. I go around people's schedule and my schedule. So these shows are pre-recorded, because really, quite honestly, I tried to do the show live, and a lot of my ambassadors are in Africa, and it's not the greatest cell service there. The internet is horrible, I got to say. So I try to work around that, their schedule, my schedule. So there's three elements that all have to come together if I'm going to do it live. I wanted to do it live and have people call in and what have you, but I got to make my life easy, and my life is pre-recording these episodes. Obviously, the cooking episodes that you're going to see each one of these episodes are from around the world over the last 5 years traveling, and they're fast, economical, delicious, and nutritious recipes. So I hope you enjoyed those, and I hope you're enjoying the show. I'd love to meet someone who actually watched all. I think there's 38 episodes now, or close to 40. I would love to meet someone who actually watched them all and get your opinion. That would be wonderful. You can call me at 502-5531-8892. My phone lines are always open to my ambassadors from around the world. 12,268 as of today, which is kind of cool. I used to put out a motivational quote every day. Now, instead of sending it to 800 WhatsApp groups, which is a lot of work, and I don't like work, I never did like work, I post them. We're going to be posting them on worldkindnesslist.com and the foundationforworldharmony.org. So, and Be Fantastic, at times Be Fantastic Facebook, and Be Fantastic 02 Instagram. So, it's just to put a smile on your face and make you happy, because that's what it's our goal in life, is to be happy. Thus, this show, The Complete Guide to Happiness. So again, I hope you're enjoying it. And let's meet our two guests. They are quite fantastic. I think you'll really have fun meeting them. So without further ado, let me put this on end, and let's bring them in. Well, everyone, I've got some wonderful guests today. It's another fantastic Monday, motivational Monday, I like to call it. So we're going to meet two fantastic individuals. They're Californians, but they're living in a place called Sokuta, Gambia. They have a beautiful home there. And, they think they're planning on going back to California. God knows why, but they have their reasons. So there's Joe, who is an author, a teacher, and the list goes on, and his beautiful wife, Sukuta, I believe, no, Nasira. I hope I'm saying these names right. Nasira, and she's an author, a motivational speaker, and a chef that teaches vegan. And they're both very healthy and a nutritionalist. We're all the same age. We're all in our 70s, and we're all enjoying life and trying to make the world a better place. So, welcome to the show, you two. Welcome. We're going to have some fun today. My first question, let's start with ladies first. Nasira, right? Mama Nasira? Am I getting it right this time?
Correct.
Mama Naasira, how do you define happiness? Because this is the complete guide to happiness, as you know.
Okay. I find happiness when everything is balanced because I'm a Libra. I'm a Capricorn Libra. I like balance. Happiness is having a partnership, a person to love. I like eating good food. I'm the type of person that I've always been the cook. So I like to, food is around love for me. It feels good to me. And I like to share this with many people as possible. Yes.
Okay. Joe, how do you define happiness?
Well, partly the lady next to me is part of my happiness because when she talks about food, nutritious stuff, I'm all aboard. Also, happiness to me is being able to have peace of mind. And that comes me just being able to love unconditionally. And that means not being judgmental and just kind of rolling with things as they go, knowing within myself that everything is in divine order.
Wonderful. Nasira, what did you do today that made you happy?
Oh, my. I was wondering if you were going to ask me that because I was up in the kitchen helping my chefs make a fantastic smoothie with kale and arugula and mangoes and papayas and superfoods like hemp seeds, chia seeds, flaxseed. Everything in that smoothie is what we started our day. Also, I assisted the chefs with putting everything in order because they made a fufu today with the Gambian dish with their special greens and okra. We were just finished eating a wonderful plate. I just had a great time. I have 5 chefs. They're young people because the young people in the Gambia are the ones that we pretty much communicate because the seniors like ourselves, they don't feel really that comfortable being with us, like having a seat in our house.
Okay.
So it's just us and young people.
Before I ask Joe that question, I got to ask you, why do you have 5 chefs?
Well, because we do a lot of preparation. For instance, we cut up a lot of onions, garlic, bell peppers, and we put them in different things. We cut up all the fruits. Yesterday we shopped. And by the way, we get a lot of our fruits from Morocco. Like now the dragon fruit is in season. It is fantastic. So I have them, and one comes in later. She's a school teacher. So she comes in the afternoon.
Love teachers. So Joe, what did you do today that made you happy?
I woke up and with a smile on my face, knowing and looking forward to another wonderful day. Now, here in the Gambia, most of where they call me Dr. Joe because I'm Dr. Gregory Joe Bledsoe, and it's a lot easier. But I wanted to point out that one of the reasons my wife has the number of chefs is because this is a school, and she trains them. We have courses like for 6 weeks, 6 months, 1 year in advanced training. And we give out certificates. We make sure that they promise Dr. Fantastic, whatever they learn, that they share. They share to their immediate family. They also share to those in their compound and in the community. That way we have a manufactured rippling effect.
That's wonderful. My three favorite professions of others is one is teachers, two is farmers, and three is doctors. Those three professions are my top three. And I think
Yeah.
teachers are just, teachers have big hearts because they're not doing it for the money and they're vastly underpaid. And I mean, we're all teachers in some ways, especially if we're parents, and hopefully we're all students of life as well.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Oh, you did mention the garden. We were in the garden today. Yeah.
So we had a fantastic conversation the other day. We spoke for over an hour and a half. I think it was almost 2 hours. It was great to get to know you both. And now my audience, or the audience of the world, because this will be recorded. It's being recorded now for all eternity. It's really wonderful now that when we create something, whether it's an interview, a painting, or what have you, digitally anyway, it lasts for a hell of a long time. I was told that the library, the Vatican Library, has 50 miles of shelves, and all that needs to be digitized because we lost the library in Atlantis and other places, famous libraries that have vast amounts of knowledge. I mean, I always say the more you know, the easier your life is. Because what you guys do with nutrition is very important that people learn today what you know about nutrition. The easier your life is, and the more valuable you are, because you guys have a school now, to others.
That's right.
Knowledge.
That's right.
About knowledge. Knowing that smoking is not healthy. I mean, in the old days, in America, in the West, they actually operated on people while smoking a cigar or a cigarette. I mean,
That's true. And
dropped
the doctor,
ashes in the cavity.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, it was
Crazy.
amazing. As a child, we saw the doctors in their white robes or gowns and smoking cigarettes, talking to us. I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa. But
Here's
thank goodness
I call the society the insanity of society. I'm sorry, the insanity of humanity. They had to pass a law making surgeons wash their hands and sanitize their things. That's just logic. Today, I think it's just logical that you should wash your hands, wear gloves, be clean. But they had to pass a law to make them do that. I mean, come on, that's crazy.
It's an upbringing, how you were brought up.
Yeah.
If you pay attention to, we grew up, you had to wash your hands for everything, or otherwise you will scold. But some people, they see germs as healthy.
Well, yes and no. A lot of people are afraid, especially with COVID, it kind of proved it. If you stayed in during COVID and weren't exposed to germs for any length of time, you're susceptible to a lot of problems. A lot of people don't let their kids play in the dirt. I think we need that. We need a certain amount of that.
Yeah, the build up an immunity. Because if
Exactly.
you never had exposure, when we grew up in San Francisco, we had a big park and we played in the sand and we would eat the dirt.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
There were minerals in that dirt, and that was before chemtrails, of course.
Exactly. And now, unfortunately, the soil has been depleted and doesn't have any nutrients, so our vegetables are shit.
Yeah.
The mass-produced ones, not the organic ones that you guys eat.
Yeah, if you go to certain places, you can get them.
And one of the plans that I've sent you, and I've also sent it to JFK Jr., and that is the Gambia. Because it was colonized and the territory was carved out on both sides of the Gambian River, this soil is the most nutriently dense, in other words, the best soil in the world. So we
Wow.
grow all kinds of things here. And what I propose is, until we can get our soil back in place in the United States, let's do something here. Let's get some of the fruits and vegetables that are there, as well as the herbs and wonderful things that are here for our health, to keep us vibrant and to keep us living better until we get our soil. And it's going to take a minute, but that's one of the things that we're promoting.
That's wonderful. And Again, number two on my list is farmers. We need, and the shame about the farmers, the little guys that are trying to make a living, is that conglomerates, are obviously taking over, and they're getting subsidies from the governments because of the kickbacks and everything. And it's the little farmer that needs the subsidies, not the big greedy conglomerates.
Absolutely. Well, we're putting it out there in thought and in our quote unquote prayers that the swamp is continually to be drained so that more truth is coming out and we can also get back to where we were. Now, a lot of those folks like China that got a lot of the farming land, that stuff is being reversed. Now, how the other stuff is going to turn out, I'm not clear. I don't try to figure out exactly how things are. I just put out the word. And that word is for peace, harmony, healing our planet as we heal our bodies and our mind.
Well, as you know, with my 800 WhatsApp groups around the world, our description is promoting peace, harmony, kindness, and sustainability.
Absolutely.
That covers it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, when I was younger than today, right after 9/11, when that hit, I knew we had to come together and to raise the consciousness. There was a lot of fear. So I began and started what was called the Peace Festival. It was the Oakland Peace Festival.
Street Peace Festival.
And I ran it for 5 years. And we brought in all elements of the community. We brought out our best stuff in terms of loving and the things that we have in common.
And the music, we had the food. I brought the vegan food because a lot of people had no knowledge in 2001, 2. They didn't know about the vegan food. And
Right.
it wasn't an easy thing. It was something that I had to create for myself and to share it with everyone.
Well, you guys are going to love, and as the audience is going to love right now, have I sent you my video on our first FACE event that we did here in Antigua?
No, I don't think we received it yet.
Oh, you guys are going to love this.
boy.
As you know, around the world, in every community, hopefully where you're living there, but for sure in San Francisco, there are artists. Most of them are struggling, but they have art, whether they was a sculpture, a painting, a drawing, jewelry, whatever, they're creating art. So we created FACE, and it stands for Fantastic Art Caravans Everywhere. And we proved concept this last weekend. And here's how it works. You get a group in your neighborhood, in your community of artists that obviously want to showcase their art. And on a weekend, you bring them all to a venue that's agreed to accept, the crowd. The venue benefits because they're bringing people in to see the art. The artist wins because they get to showcase their art and hopefully sell their art. And it's all promoting art and kindness because behind the FACE event is the kindness revolution. So people come in, they see the art, they hear about the kindness revolution. The customers win, the venue wins because a mall or a restaurant or a school or whatever has a crowd come in and they get to expose what they're all about. So I love when I create something where everybody wins. And what you reminded me about your Peace Festival, of course, we had music, we had live music, and it was, I'll send you the video. It was, it was our first one. We have another one this weekend, and it could be replicated everywhere. We just need one person to get behind it that says that wants to put the energy out because it's free. How that person makes money, I don't know. Maybe they just do it as a community endeavor like I'm doing. But the artists win because they make a little money. They sell their art. The venue wins because people come in and the people hear about peace, love, and happiness.
Well, we had in 2018, we had the first International Vegan Fest here in the Gambia.
Right.
And it was fantastic. We had brought in Dr. Ilela Africa to the Gambia as one of the keynote speakers. Dr. And Dr. Umar Johnson, we brought him into our home. And we had at least 10 other people that came and they were speaking. We had herbalists here from the Gambia, and it was 3 days. I would never do it that way again because it was straight up work. We had to prepare food for people and it was all free. We invested our funds in it.
That's
Now we
wonderful.
can't
My
do
wife was a food distributor, mostly cheese, and we would go to these conventions in San Francisco.
Mhm.
What's the big hall in San Francisco called? The convention
So
center,
the
Yeah,
convention center. Yes.
the Mansoni or something like that. At any rate,
yeah.
I love eating, as you guys do, and I
Yes.
would eat all day long. I'm talking about 20,000 square feet of food.
Wow.
And after I would eat I would try this sample and that sample and this sample. And then
Mhm.
after it all, we went to a big gourmet dinner. It was like, I never ate so much in my life.
It's a good thing because good, healthy food that's fresh is not going to harm you.
Yeah,
It's
she
better
was
to
a
eat it
cheese
that way.
importer, and she sold to all the fancy five-star hotels and all the restaurants in Los Angeles. So I got to try all the cheeses before any important person did in Los Angeles. And she was
Wow.
French. She is French. She's my ex-wife, and I ate like a king for 35 years, like a king.
Wow. That is amazing.
I was the envy of anybody who knew me because I had a big yacht
Oh,
back then,
that's-
and they would come and eat my wife's gourmet cooking. One time I
yeah.
had a sit down dinner on my yacht where I caught the lobster myself, and we
Uh-huh.
had filet mignon for 34 people on the yacht, a private party.
Wow.
That was fun.
Amazing. Yes.
I
The
know
good
the
old
feeling.
days.
I know the feeling. Mama Naasira is considered the world's best vegan chef, and I
Oh,
happen to be her husband. And I'm telling
yes.
you, there is no greater joy than working for food. It is
Exactly. My son's a
delicious.
vegan, which is,
Okay.
I'm not. I eat
Right.
everything.
Well, that's
But
okay because everybody's body's different. Now, I got sick with hepatitis B when I was 19.
right.
And that's what changed my life from living in a home where my mom didn't work. And I had a father who was a carpenter. So the food was on the table every day, greens, cornbread, salads, beans, just, regular whole
Yeah.
foods. And then to go to college in 1971, there was a McDonald's right across the street. Well, I had an attitude and told my dad I didn't have to worry about eating their food. I can eat outside. Well, working, going to school, partying, guess what? I stuck myself with a needle, drawing the patient's blood. That changed my whole world.
Oh,
And I had
terrible.
to, and we live in a life where there's no roadmap how to live this life.
Right,
So
right.
you have lived still today, 71. I'm still living vicariously through my own mistakes, my
Yeah.
own how can I say my own challenge?
There's no
No, my
mistakes in
own
life. It's just, live and
opportunity.
learn, don't be afraid to fail. Fail is just first attempt in learning. But as far as vegan goes, this last event, our first face event, one of the girls made mushroom tacos and she gave me one
Ooh,
and it was delicious.
I know it was, yes. And if you eat 5 of those, you'll be just as full as if you had meat.
Yeah. Do they have avocados where you're at?
Do
Plenty,
they? Oh,
plenty. They're big ones. Right now, they're in season.
yeah,
Started
different
now.
varieties from the very smooth ones, all
The
that is
butter
so
one.
creamy. Man, I'm telling
They're
you.
really good. We just had some a few minutes ago.
It's very
Just
healthy too, right?
yeah, very
Avocado.
healthy, very tasty. Yeah, so we
Yeah.
have plenty of that.
Well, here they're about 50 cents. I was living in Belize and they were $3 each. It's a lot of
Yes,
money
that's
for avocado.
everywhere. That's the way they cost now. When we were in the US last year, we were paying $3 for one avocado.
That's
Some of them are
ridiculous.
244,
How
249.
much in Gambia?
They're like they're expensive. There's like 50 Dalasies. That's probably maybe 150, 175 here. It's
Oh, so I'm
expensive. And
paying
since
50
it's
cents.
America,
I'm paying a third less than you and
Ah,
six
no,
times
I'm just
less
thinking,
than America.
no, no, they're about
Guatemala
$1.
is a little cheaper
Oh
there.
yeah, Guatemala. You know what? Since we've been in the Gambia, Americans, because of our lifestyle, the prices have increased tremendously.
Oh,
I think that's to do with the people here that are opportunistic. They see an opportunity
greed.
Yes.
and they
No, I call it greed, not opportunistic.
opposite of what? Fantastic.
The
Yes.
opposite, complete opposite. And that's the problem with the world. The wars are about money.
Mhm.
Big pharma is about money. Industrial
Mhm.
military complex is about money. And there's 17 families that control all the money. And they
Right.
don't want you to have free energy. They don't want you to have anything free,
No, but you know what? We have to know that if we feel good about ourselves and we're doing what we're doing on our meager level, we are much happier than those people. I can tell you that. I've worked in professionals and I didn't have anything. I had more joy. They would fight those medical technologists, they would be fighting and carrying on.
Well, here's
Myself,
how it works. You two are the top 1 percentile on the planet because one, you're in love. You guys found
yes,
each other, and you guys are in love. Two is you're eating healthy, and you're concerned about your future, and staying healthy. And you love what you're doing. You're teaching. I mean, so few people are doing and accomplishing what you guys are doing, and I'm very proud of you. Great to have you as ambassadors of kindness, because together we're going to
yes,
try to save the planet.
Oh,
yes,
absolutely.
we're gonna say
And
that.
we'd like to point out that we are proud of you, Dr.
Yes,
Fantastic.
we're proud.
Proud of your courage,
Yeah.
and your insight. And as you can see, more people are gravitating to, I would call it fantasticism,
Fantastic.
As a
I like
result,
that.
you're a magnet.
Mhm.
And we appreciate the steps that you take. And it ain't been easy now. It ain't been easy. But I think you and I know we've been around long enough to know that to get a diamond, you have to have pressure.
Yeah. And the biggest problem I have is that everything, all our programs, the FACE event, the Kindness Club for Kids, the kindness classes, everything I've developed to promote kindness is free, and
Yes.
people don't respect free.
That's true.
It's part of our nature.
They'll tell
Program,
you,
that's program.
and then they'll tell you if you don't put a price on it, then it's not valuable. I mean, it's worthless.
Everybody's gonna have some skin in the game.
Well, history will show that the kindness revolution is the first free thing on the planet.
Mhm.
That's right.
I'm going to show history. I'm going to prove history because it's not about money. I know billionaires. I've had money, and it brings you shiny things and fake
Mhm.
friends.
That's right.
Yes.
And you're not happy. I mean, I've enjoyed life. Right now we're $2,000 less than what we've had before. But you know what? I've still managed to balance everything. Why? Because I raised 3 children. I'm really fortunate that I had 3 children to make me a better person, to be able to not worry about anything. When you have children, it's not an easy lifestyle. But
Well, the thing
those
is,
people,
every parent that ever was a parent was an amateur because
exactly.
you can read every book on the planet, but you're going to make mistakes. I always say after 6 kids, you make less mistakes, not no mistakes, less mistakes. But the thing is, you were raised by amateurs who were raised by amateurs who were raised by amateurs. So it's
Exactly.
generational. People just throwing shit against the wall. Hopefully it works, and somehow or other, we're such brilliant creatures that we can be
Yes.
resilient enough to adapt. Because I had no love or guidance as a child. I had 3 sets of deadbeat parents. No love or guidance whatsoever. And somehow or other, I'm still alive and kicking. I've abused my body and my mind, many times. But I found my calling 7 years ago. And, was I always kind? Probably not, But do I see that kindness is the answer to all humanity's problems? Yes, it is.
Yes. Yes. Well, you pointed out to us the other day, just the term fantastic, how when you say it, what feeling you get, how it emits that. And not only will people remember you for saying it, but I think it also makes them reflect. And so they'll start to think, well, maybe I'm fantastic too.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
Well, I
You
say
know,
if you say I am fantastic 3 times a day, because
yes.
Rene Descartes, my favorite philosopher, said, I think, therefore I am.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
And Naasira used to say that.
I used to
The
say
word
it.
fantastic.
And remember the Fantastic Fours on
Yes.
television?
Uh-huh.
Well, that word was my first opportunity to that word resonated with me. And when I became a young adult, people used to say, well, how you doing? I said, fantastic. I would just open up. And I was younger than a lot of people. But what happened as I got older, people would say, good. Oh, I'm good, good. I started saying that too.
Yeah.
You know, I think in a lot of, and that's because we don't have enough education to know some people have raised children to the point where they already had a good example for the next generation or two. But in my
Right.
family, we didn't
Rare.
quite have that. My family came from Arkansas, and that life was different. But at one time, they did have their own community until, you know, the reset and all changed.
Yeah.
But my parents, I was born in San Francisco. So that was new to my parents. So therefore, I had to get out there as the first child and learn. And I used to bring information back to my mom. That's just how brilliant I was. She's, you know, she was an Aries. She was very, you know, kind of a person that was passive. But me, I was active. And she loved that about me. And she trusted me so much that she wouldn't ask me all the time where I was going or where, you know, she just allowed me to go because she had polio. And that condition allowed me to do things for her that she couldn't do for herself. So
Gotcha.
after I helped her with all the children, well, she said, I know she don't want any children. I know she's going to do the right thing. And I did. You know, I had some ups and downs, but I got through it.
Yeah. Well, getting back to the word fantastic, it forces you to smile, and a smile makes you look and feel fantastic. It also releases stress, anxiety, and depression. Now, we're using words to communicate. In the not so distant future, we won't use words anymore. We're going to use telepathy. And you guys already being in love and knowing each other and looking in each other's eyes, you don't have to say words. You know,
No.
it's called telepathy. But words can cure, words can kill, words can hurt, words can heal. So words are very important. They affect water. You guys probably know about the Kyoto water study.
Absolutely.
Yes.
If anyone listening doesn't know about that, look it up. Words
No.
affect water. And so when you scream at a kid or say bad words to anybody, not only is their mental state affected, but their physiological state is affected because it's manipulating the water molecules in their body and in the plant and in the cat and the dog and everybody
And
else.
also, when you say the words itself, since your body is made of water, then it also affects you.
Exactly. So and we didn't know that 100 years ago, obviously. You know, we didn't know a lot of stuff 100 years ago. And I can only imagine what we're going to learn in the next 100 years. I always thought it'd be great to be frozen and come back in 100 years to see how we're turning out because
we evolve, we come back. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like I have been on every part of this planet because first it was Pangea, we were all one. And then when we all separated, I had an opportunity to go to all those places and come back and evolve. Coming from San Francisco, I grew up with people, and in the hippie days too, people from all over the world. I had the opportunity to spend time with many people. I mean, and people were at that time in the 60s and 70s, there weren't really any violence. The violence was from the people that was above that could not tolerate and accept the fact that we were happy and not thinking about money because the prices were a little lower. And therefore, we had time to just have fun. We could dance. You know, it was, I would say I came up in a great time. And
Let me ask you, you were raised in San Francisco? Were born in San Francisco?
Yes, born and raised. Yes, I'm a
Do you
native.
know a place called Potrero Hill?
Yes, that's on the other side. See, I'm in the Fillmore. I'm from the Fillmore.
We
Palestine,
lived as
area.
beatniks. My stepfather was a beatnik. We lived on Potrero Hill, which was the
Yeah, I know
poorest
where that
area
is.
of town. And now it's one of the most expensive areas in town.
Exactly,
And then we lived in Hillsburg, which was the poorest place in San Francisco, in California. And now it's one the enclave for billionaires. So, but we moved from town to town to town because he paid his rent with art. That's how we survived by selling art. And beatniks were not artists were not respected back then. Now they're beloved. We learn.
Yes, yeah.
We learn.
Yeah. And you know, it was amazing, you know, coming up in San Francisco as a child to see that we had a real, you know, community. You know, I mean, you can go to another neighbor's house and they would take care of you, and they, we just had this. And I think that's why the redevelopers, they stepped in and they didn't want to see us, build our schools up, build up. They wanted us to leave our culture where we end up scattered. We're scattered all over the place. And other people that didn't have what we had, they're in the ones that are rebuilt the thing that we wanted to do. And they got the prices so expensive, we can't afford it.
Yeah.
So all that's
Yeah.
gonna change. I'll put that
Yeah.
on it. It's changing.
Yeah. What's funny is that we could have crossed paths back then because we were both in San Francisco in 63, 64,
Yes.
Wouldn't that have been amazing if we actually bumped into each other once?
And we
on
probably
the street?
did. Who knows? If you were in San Francisco, I was all over the place, all down there in Jerry Deli Square. It's go up and down the cable car,
Golden Gate Park.
Golden Gate Park. I lived in the park, the hippie days. Hey, and I attended George Washington High School, where a lot of famous people were, attended that school. But I actually came from the Fillmore, where they got rid of a lot of that and then turned it into a drug infested environment, which was not good. Changed the name to Western Addition. That had nothing to do with what we have built there.
Sure.
I won't say we're used to the patterns, but my wife and I, we're Native Americans, we're
not natives, we're endogenous.
We're
So you were born there.
Yeah, born there. Our people were there. We never left. We were not we didn't come from Africa.
No, we did not.
We were already there.
We were there.
We had to go through a system of our land being taken from us. So, we had labels on us like colored and Negro and black and freeman and African American, to separate our land. And as I told you before, my people are from the Florida area. And we had some challenges with people that were trying to take our land on all three fronts. That means the Louisiana Territory from the north and the conquistadors from Florida, from the water. And when we finally got tired of our people being killed, then we were moved, the Trail of Tears, you can look that up, that was us, and to the Oklahoma area. But being incredible, genius, resilient people, we developed what people term the Black Wall Street. And my great grandmother was there. She was about 13 years old when it was bombed from the air and was set on fire and destroyed, like a lot of other places.
Also got places
It's not to say that we're used to that, but it's no stranger to us that those outside of us, because of either jealousy, envy, or want of control, or
Stupidity, might throw stupidity in there.
Or to keep us in a state of fear, anger, so they can suck off the energy, because some folks are vampires like that. I'm not mad at anyone because everyone is doing the best they can with their level of consciousness. That includes all the members of the 13 families, everyone. They're doing the best that they can with where they are. It's just that when you have a small group of people and you have narrow goals, then they're able to accomplish a lot more, like they did in keeping us in the state of not knowing who we were, poisoning us slowly with the food, with the water that was contaminated. And then we got the chemtrails, the atrazine, we got the microplastics. Now they even have like Coca-Cola. If you take off that part, the outside, you're drinking out of the inside of it. It's a plastic container. So we have the microplastics, all those things that deal with our disrupt our bodies. So there we don't know if we're a man or a woman or a girl or a boy, which divinely it still all works out because it adds to the flavor of unconditional love, just loving everyone where they are. So no matter which way you turn it, if you throw it up, it's going to land. And at the end of the day, it's all fantastic.
John Lennon said, all you need is love.
All you need is love.
Love is all you need.
In Langley, British Columbia, lives one of Western Canada's best-kept secrets. We are Wild Education, Western Canada's largest reptile and small exotic animal rescue. And right now, we're launching our most urgent fundraiser ever.
Less than 1 year ago, we opened the doors to our brand new education center, a space we poured all of our savings into building. But due to changes in land development, we found out we only have 9 months to find a new place and move out. This will be the third time in 5 years we've been forced to relocate, and this time we simply don't have the funds to do it again.
Unlike traditional rescues with puppies and kittens, reptiles don't get the same level of support. But our animals need it just as much because they don't have anywhere else to go. That's why we're asking for your help now.
Last year alone, we took in 153 animals, including reptiles, amphibians, and furry exotics like chinchillas, sugar gliders, ferrets, and even hedgehogs. Many came to us sick, injured, abandoned, or surrendered by families who could no longer care for them due to the rising cost of living.
One of those animals was Gary, a serval who couldn't find a home anywhere else in BC after his family broke apart. No one else could take him in, but we did. Because oftentimes, we are the last resort.
We are currently also home to 12 rescued sulcata tortoises, some weighing over 120 pounds. But we know more will come in this year, who need lots of space, warmth, and lifelong care. Wild Education isn't just a rescue, it's a mission. Our entire rescue is funded by our education program. This program travels to schools and other events to help teach about the natural history, conservation, and responsible ownership of these amazing animals. We give people the knowledge to hopefully prevent animals from ending up in our rescue in the first place.
But now, more than ever, the future of wild education, its current animals, its future animals depends on your support. We know it's a lot, but we're trying to raise $1 million to buy a permanent property. A forever home where we'll never have to move again, and where our animals can finally be safe for good.
So if you've ever wanted to make a big difference in the life of something a little different, this is your moment. Please visit www.wildeducation.ca to donate or click on the GoFundMe link. We need your help to save Wild Education so we can keep saving them.
And you know, we came up in the 60s and 70s where I feel that our community, our people had some of the most beautiful music in the world. You could just
I still listen to it. I
Me
listen to
too.
old 50s and 60s all the time.
all
Love
the
it.
time. It's just beautiful. I mean, when we listen to sometime the OJs and the Spinners and what is it, the Miracles. I mean, they had such feeling. I mean, I think we changed the whole world because before other people they didn't have that. You know, this is what the beauty of, you know, America. America is they call the promised land, and it's a melting pot. Everybody wants to come to America, even today. So I'm gonna have to work out where we can get a Lear jet so we can travel with some of our community
Exactly.
here.
So,
Yeah.
so speaking of music, you guys must love Motown, right?
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
Diana Ross, the Michael
I
Jackson.
was dear friends with Berry Gordy.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
Wow.
That's wonderful. Now, Berry Gordy, you're familiar with Motown and how he lost it, and the people behind it, like Smith, Phil Smith. Phil Smith was one of the people. He took Motown away from Berry Gordy. They gave him the title of chairman of the board. They went down to Los Angeles. They ran a studio there, and later he went up to Fantasy in Berkeley. He was the vice president and running that. And he'd make his money off of artists, their material that they had gotten, and that's questionable how they do it, remix it and make millions of dollars. Well, I met him when he was an older man, and now he's trying to get into heaven. So he's trying to do things. So he invited me to go into his studio for little or nothing. And I took him up on it after 2 years. I remixed my first album, did my second, and then my inner voice was screaming, get in there now and finish it, which I did. And Phil made his transition 2 weeks later. I was invited to the memorial service, and it was like who was who, and trench coats and dark glasses and bop-de-boop-de-blam. And he had asked me, he wanted to sign me to Motown. But, you know, I'm a law school graduate, Hastings, and I've witnessed what has happened to our artists. So I knew which side the bread was buttered on. And therefore, I've dedicated a lot of my time to helping musicians, getting their music copywritten and put in spaces and places where they could be more or less protected.
Sure.
Now, my music is mind-moving motivational music. Been doing it for years, and I wanted to get it out. And I wish I had kept my letter. I might still have it from the Oprah Winfrey folks. Listen to my, they couldn't have that. But shortly thereafter, when my plea was, we need more positive lyrical music because it affects our people. Then they brought on Earth, Wind, and Fire. So even though I wasn't the one, I was satisfied that some inroads were being made.
Yeah. Well, you're a visionary. All three of us are visionaries, and we need more people like us that know that kindness is really the answer. Music and art. Unfortunately, a friend of mine, you might know Doug Ivanovich. I don't know if you know the name. Good friend of mine. He's actually ambassador number 20. He did the biggest concerts in the world. What was it called? I don't know. They're huge. Multi continental concerts. At any rate, he said we make money from war. How could we not? And the only thing I can think of is music. If we can make more money than war with music, we wouldn't have war.
That's right.
But war is more profitable right now. Music isn't as profitable. That's the only thing I can think of to try to, every day I try to solve the problems of the world. I'm a philosopher. How can we spread kindness? And that's why I came up with FACE and the kindness classes and whatever. But the only other thing I could think of, because money drives everything, is if we could find out how art and music can make more money than war. It's not going to happen, unfortunately, but that's my solution.
Oh, once again, Dr. Fantastic, I watch my words in terms of limitation. I have lived long enough to see that there are no limits. I've lived long enough to see that a lot of the things that I used to see, all illusions. In a twinkle of an eye, you can change your circumstances by changing what you do, what you think, and actually the way you feel. So
Right.
I am very guarded with what I say. In fact, I have songs like Look Within. Before you say something, put that little guard up there, put that little shield up there where you're asking that filter. What
Think
my
before you
words
speak.
are-
Our mothers always said that,
Even though it may be true, is it appropriate? Is it something that's really necessary? Is it going to bring about more growth, more love, and more kindness? And that's why each day I work on being a better version of myself than I was before. And I'm telling you, man, keeping this ego down, full-time job, full-time job.
Well, we need to believe in ourselves, and I don't know if that's ego or not, but if you don't believe in yourself, because that's the first commitment, loving yourself unconditionally, believing in yourself, trusting that the decisions you make and the path you're on are the correct path and the correct decisions. So every day I could talk for hours on how and why to be kind to yourself, because it's the most important commitment in life.
Mhm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you're doing a fantastic job. We appreciate your efforts. I know we have a lot on our plate, and we're not working through it as fast as we would have done maybe 30, 40, 50 years ago.
Right.
Because, we got a little time on our hands here. I'm 70, my wife's 71. And when you make it to the 70s club, you've got to have some kind of insight. You've got to have something to keep you going, or else you are taking up space.
Numbers befound me. For many years, up to a few years ago, I would never say my age. I would always say, actually, for 50 years, I was saying I was 26 because I feel
Okay.
26. I have the energy and the creativity of a 26-year-old, wisdom of an older man, obviously. But lately, I'm kind of proud to be 71.
Well, in our book, let's see, that's the yellow one, chapter 5, and it's bestseller. But chapter 5 is entitled "Most Men Are Slow." And I point that out to say it takes about 40 years before the average man begins to mature. And I said average, so you know you're out of that box, Dr. Fantastic. But the
Yeah.
average man, because there's such a big difference between the men and the women. More
Huge.
male babies die the first year than women. More women live over
They're
100
different
than,
species. They're different
oh,
species.
well, and understanding that, women's brain is 25% heavier than ours. That cerebral cortex where you're dealing with intuition, multitasking, pain management, and language acquisition. So some of us learn the hard way. We're a fool if we try to argue with the woman because they don't fight fair. And the other thing is to be humble enough to give them thanks for them helping and being a part of our growth. Because it's not easy dealing with someone slow.
Well, we sure
But
wouldn't be here if there wasn't a female species, because we all came from a womb.
absolutely. And we understand that because of other forces that have come in to separate us and reprogram and all of that, some of us have lost sight of the fact that we play our roles, but when we put them together, it's harmony. So we're bringing back more of that information, and many of them get it. Some souls have come here to be activated at this time. Many souls have done their job and they're leaving. But at the end of the day, this is a great time to be alive, Dr. Fantastic.
It is, because there's so much information. There's not enough information, time in the day to absorb it. Because I watch a lot of documentaries, PBS, 60 Minutes, because a lot of when I'm retired, and a lot of people when they retire probably want to play golf. Maybe they want to get a sailboat or go fishing. I love television because it's so much information. Inordinate amount, not enough time in the day to watch all the information that's valuable. Of course, you can waste your time and watch cartoons, but and that's okay too. If that's what makes you happy. But we're getting back to women. Of course, I love women. They weren't treated very correctly throughout history. I mean, they burned women as smart as your wife at the stake in the 1700s in Salem just for being outspoken. They burned Bruno, the philosopher, a famous philosopher, at the stake for saying that the Earth wasn't the center of the universe. Obviously, he was correct, and they burned him at the stake. So many people in history have been so cruel to mankind. It's embarrassing. And I call it the insanity of humanity. It's not just today, it's throughout history. But we have a chance if we use kindness in our daily actions and our thoughts and we have a chance of a future. Teaching our children kindness.
Absolutely. It's sort of like the 100 monkeys, Dr. Fantastic. When we get to a certain level where more people are using kindness as an instrument to not only change their life, but the life around them, then we are going to have the fantastic shift. And that's why we appreciate what you're doing.
Yes. Yeah. And
Well,
as far as
it's great to be appreciated, that's for sure, because I don't get a whole lot of feedback. I'm putting the first 3 or 4 years as I'm doing YouTube videos. I've got 2,600 videos on YouTube chronicling my journey, giving advice, interviewing people, doing cooking shows. I didn't know there was a comment section on it. So I don't have time to have read comments from 12,000 people. I really don't. But so I'm actually just putting it out there for an archival library of kindness, of promoting harmony, sustainability, all the fantastic people that in our community. You guys are part of a community now that's in 146 countries. Most amazing humanitarians that are doing food forests that are just there's so many people that I'm connected to. I wish I could remember them all. That are doing wonderful things for humanity. I mean, it's really quite an astute. And I'm creating now what's called the Global Kindness Social Network, which will mean everyone can communicate with one another. The farmers can communicate through all the countries with other farmers, teachers with teachers, scientists with scientists, vegans with vegans. Is it vegan or vegan? I never understood. Vegan, right?
Vegan, VEGAN, vegan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes I say vegan, but vegans with vegans. I mean, we just
well, let's
need
just,
to help each other.
yes, yes. Well, I think it's easier just to say eating wholesome food
Wholesome food. Or,
because the line has been blurred for some people's purposes. So you have even vegetarian. I mean, you got vegetarians that eat dairy, you got vegetarians that eat meat, and you got vegetarians that eat meat and only meat and meat, but only chicken, and some that don't eat any of that, but they will eat some of the dairy. I mean, it can be very confusing. So that's why I say we're just eating wholesome.
I think it's a lifestyle, really. You know, it's like
Do you know what a primal eater is?
a primal.
Yeah,
Explain.
I met a primal eater, and he was living on a CBD farm. He ran a CBD farm, and a primal eater is someone who doesn't eat anything cooked. So he'll
Okay.
eat 3 or 4 eggs in a glass, drink it. He will never eat steak tartare or raw beef, raw fish. And so what was funny about that little visit there is he had a stove there, and for 25 years I knew was never used, and so I cooked a meal on that stove. But there's all kind of different people, like you say, the vegetarians, the vegans, the I mean,
Yeah, yeah, and you have different blood types.
Types
You
are
have,
different.
I mean, different body types. Not
Yeah.
everyone is 100%
It's the
human.
same.
I mean, one of the
Yeah.
reasons they stopped telling people in America when they, what their blood type was, because they got so many different types of folks here.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And we all have a different voice. We all have a different
Yeah.
iris, a different fingerprint. But you know what's really funny? As I travel the world, laughter, you can't tell the language from a laugh or a cry or a scream.
No, no.
Wow.
It's the same in every culture, language, person. The sound of a laugh or a cry. It's amazing. So
Ah.
we're all one, though. As you guys are learning, we're all one. And hopefully, I think one of the salvations for our planet is that when Congress and everyone, and they're trying to do it now, makes everyone aware that we're not alone in the universe, never have been. When that's universal, I'm hoping the countries can come together and say we're all one. They're already trying to do the one world currency, that's not about oneness, it's about greed.
Well, we say it is so. It
Yeah.
is so.
And I'd like to see that we're working on world peace. I believe that world peace is going to happen very soon. And once it happens, that's when all the opportunities will be for everyone. That's my belief system for right now.
I hope so.
I really believe world peace. I believe that Trump and this Ibrahima Traoré, when they speak, everybody listens. No one goes over these people. They reminds me of some kind of galactics,
Well, I have a solution. As a philosopher, I like to think of solutions. And I believe that if everyone minded their own damn business, America just focused on the poor Americans and with all the resources they have, Africa doesn't import, export. Africa has everything they need to support every industry on the planet. They have all the resources, all the gold and everything else to make everything happen. If every country just minded their own damn business, we would have peace.
Exactly. This is what we headed. We are going to that level. Because I find that
By the way, scoot over. I'm only seeing half your face. Scoot to your husband there.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking that more people now are beginning to go home. I'm ready to go home. I'm not going to say I won't travel to other places, but I want to be in my own home. My mother was the one that encouraged me to come to Africa before she died, because I was around a lot of Nigerians and I saw that there was a difference. It's not the skin color, it's the lifestyle, the culture. So she said, you should go and check it out. And I did. I have 9 years here, and I know really for sure I am an American. I am not anything
I'm in
else.
34 countries in Africa, and I see a big difference between all the countries. I've always said that in America, it should be 50 different countries, not 50 states, because they're all different.
There are countries. They're not. America's a continent. It's a
I know, but it's
continent.
50 states, not 50 countries on that continent. You guys have
Well,
56 countries on your continent.
Yes,
Yeah,
55.
but then I still say that America, they lied to us. We have these people that changed everything. San Francisco by itself is a country. It's different from anywhere else. New
I know.
York.
I agree.
These are people that, that change. They reset everything, to keep us ignorant. And now some of us, it's inside of us and they can't stop it.
If it's in your DNA, hey.
You're going to speak the truth. Yes.
They want poverty. The rich, those rich families want and need poverty. They can't have everyone thinking like us three. They can't have that. They won't allow it.
No.
Well, I don't say they won't allow it.
That's
Once
true.
again, we watch our words.
Mhm.
Maybe we're looking from a different lens, but we understand there are different timelines, different parallel universes, a whole lot of moving parts. And when you speak your word, you're creating the reality that you're going to experience.
That's right. I
That's
believe
right,
that
yeah.
whatever. For instance,
Well, I do say the wrong things at times. And actually, one bad word, if you're a public speaker, one bad statement could ruin your whole life because of technology today. There was a congresswoman a couple years ago that was at an event, and there was a black woman there. And she goes, "Where are you from?" I think she said, like, Kansas. And then she goes, no, where are you really from? And that one statement cost her career.
Why? I mean, what are you saying? Where's she really from? She said she was from Kansas. What did it mean?
Right. But what she was inferring was that she wasn't from Kansas. She was from Gambia or Kenya or Cameroon.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well, since we've been here,
It's the
yeah,
Well, they lied to
but
us and
since
they
we've-
made us think that.
yeah, but since we've been here, that narrative that all Black people came from Africa been busted wide open from the steps taken with the lie about what was that, Roots, Alex Haley.
Mhm.
He
Right.
was he was a graduate from the Naval Academy. So once you're in the military, they got you. Then he was put in place to have the books, Autobiography of Malcolm X and Roots. Now, Roots was a book that someone said, you done plagiarized that. He was sued and it was settled out of court. The personality family, like the Kunta Kinte family, we know them. We know the family, we know them well. And believe it or not, if you're on a different level of consciousness, you can be bought very easily. Okay? And so
are you saying that Roots, the fact that these white traders brought black people to America didn't happen?
No, that never happened.
No, sir. A lot of the things
That
they
did not
say,
happen.
some things happened, but it didn't happen the way
That
it was
way.
pointed out.
Yeah.
There were a few Black people brought, because Columbus himself, he didn't step on the mainland of America. He just went to the Caribbean.
Yeah.
But because of the narrative, and that was, as I said earlier, to separate us from our property, and that was to perpetuate this lie that we all came from another place. Okay?
And they use Roots to make us believe, because I named my 3 sons African names and my mother thought it was ridiculous. And I'm thinking, because I was younger, I knew more than her. She said, you need to go to Africa. I named my oldest son Dulani and the second name Richard after my brother. She said, no, in the hospital, you need to name him Richard Dulani. Now, she was absolutely correct. Why would I take away my American culture and language and name something I know nothing about, and they don't know anything about me other than when they travel to our country.
And those that are in position, they know it's a lie.
They know it's a lie.
And when you have discussions with them, they'll say, yes, you're right. But we're getting money. We have these brainwash program people come over here, fall on their knees, kiss the sand and ground. I'm back. Welcome. Hey, they don't know which way is up. And what they do is they're taking advantage of. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching.
Greed. Greed. We've been talking about that all show.
And they buy land over here, you get ripped off. That's why we didn't do that. We invested in food and teaching. I was not going to invest in land unless I knew that there was a place here that I know is mine. Nothing in here belongs to me. This whole continent does not. Yes, I could say we traveled, Pangaea and all of that underground. We did all of that, but they reset us where we forgot. Now it's coming back. Nothing can be taken away for a long period. It's that.
Well, not your heritage. You can't take your heritage away. You can take your land away and your freedom, but you can't take your heritage.
Yeah, and the heritage is what's important, because then to me, it gives you a certain pride. Like I was telling one of my students today, I was always a person that when I walked into an environment, all eyes was on me. It's because I stand straight and I'm tall. I'm one of the giants because I look at my feet. I was a giant at one time.
We had a lot of giants there. Ask the Smithsonian Institute what they did with all those skeletons.
Exactly. And look at the buildings that
I've seen pictures of it.
Francisco. Those were built, they weren't built by us like this.
No.
We were something else.
It was part of Tartania.
Tartania, yes.
And this was another reset. And that's, once again, most people are not aware. But if Napoleon could talk, he would tell you, like he said before, history is written by the victors. Okay? You can have little Prussia, and all of a sudden they become the Soviet Union. And all of a sudden, all these things are built on top of what was there before. And you have these gigantic, incredible, magnificent buildings. Where did they come from? You had the plot where they had all these world fairs where they tried to destroy the evidence. Mama Naasira is in San Francisco. You can see walking on the sidewalk or wherever, where some of the windows are half buried. Some of the doors are half buried. Why? Because when Tartania was doing what it was doing, you had some folks that wanted to control. And most of the people were into spiritual nature. And as I told you before, we had free energy. They had places all over the planet. But there were some folks that got upset. They couldn't control them, so they turned against them. And when they turned the frequency, it all turned into slush. Not mud, slush. And that's where you had cities and all of those that went under. You had where the whole landscape was changed. So once we begin to understand, it's not being mad at anybody. They were doing the best they could. But once you understand that, then you don't have so much of a mystery.
Yeah, it's all about knowledge, and we're learning so much every day. And it's the more you know, the easier your life is, and the more valuable you are to others. Keep learning.
And when you eat better, you can think better.
Yeah, you got a clear.
Eat better, think better. And you guys are on the Cooking is Fantastic channel or a group, which is kind of fun. I hope that group grows. Because oh, by the way, I don't know if you've seen my kindness cookies, but when I was in Belize, I made the Be Kind signs, and people bought them, people stole them, people loved them. And when I was here in Antigua, I made Be Kind rocks, because whatever you paint Be Kind on, people love. So now, knowing that you can get through to people through their stomachs, I'm encouraging people to make for their school, for their place of worship, for themselves. Be Kind heart-shaped cookies that have the words "Be Kind" on them, and I tell you, they'll sell out.
Well, you have really inspired me for speaking in the future with the word fantastic.
Good, fantastic.
It has done something to my whole spirit and the delivery because of this. I feel more enthusiastic.
Well, I was working on my website today with my web person in the Philippines, and I came across my testimonial reel, which is on World Kindness list. And there was a woman, looks exactly like you, and she'd met me, and she just discovered the word fantastic. You discovered it before. And she says, I never knew about this word. I'm loving it. It's like she was like all over the moon about it because it's transformative. It is energy, it's love, it's kindness, it's everything that we need in life. It's so powerful.
Wow. When is this when did you get this mindset? Um,
Well,
the
I
word
came up
motivate.
my
what
my my
motivated
charity now is called the Foundation for World Harmony. And I created that in 1980s when I was doing Ray Charles. I actually, you guys probably know Ray Charles. I produced him on his 50th birthday at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion in Los Angeles.
Oh,
And
Wow.
a guy came to me with a song called World Peace. And he said, can you have Ray sing this? And I said, this song can make history and it's bigger than just Ray. So I'm going to try to put together 20 superstars, Michael Jackson, Pavarotti, Ray, the Beatles, a real eclectic group that represents all of music, and have them sing this anthem for world peace. And it came out as We Are the World.
I was thinking of that. So you are the hey, high five. I know you're very, very
So I've been a
influential.
visionary since the 80s.
Okay.
And I've been on this path since COVID, because COVID for me was the last straw for me for America. I know America is the only country that dropped a nuclear bomb. The countries that go to war and supports war because it's profitable. And when they came out with COVID, I knew it was man-made, I knew it was patented, and I knew it was released by man. I didn't know he was going to make billions of dollars from it, but I knew it was man-made, and that upset me. And I've never listened to anyone my whole life. I've been a rebel. And when America told me
Yeah.
to stay in my house, quarantine, put on a mask and wash my hands 20 times a day, I said, F you. And no, and no.
Exactly.
And I hit the road in my car, drove across America during COVID without a mask, went to so many young parties, danced like a rock star, had so much freaking fun, left the country finally, went to Ukraine. I brought actually, I was paid to deliver the cure for COVID to a billionaire in Ukraine. That's how I got out of the country. And then I went from Ukraine, I went to Turkey and then to Egypt and now to Belize and then here. Been traveling. And I'm on a mission because I realize what's going on the planet. And it's upside down, backwards, inside out. And it's insane. So you guys are now part of my mission. And together we're going to save the planet from the insanity of humanity.
Absolutely. I'm
Well,
happy.
one of the things that Mama Naasira and I have done, we just put out a list that of natural things people can take to get rid of some of the metals in their body, the heavy metals. Because at one point in time, even though those that were doing the major disrupting and controlling of the planet, even though they've been neutralized, you have a lot of the gatekeepers that are still programmed. And if they were to turn up that frequency a certain way, then a lot of people would have to cancel Christmas. So that's why we're trying to help those that we can right now.
And changing your lifestyle, because one of my sons, he was injected several times and, had some thyroid problems and heart palpitation. But the one thing he's doing, he prepares all his food for he, his wife, and his child. And to me, that's an opportunity to actually clean out your body.
And I don't want to leave out another very important part, and that is your mind. If you believe, it shall be done. It's done unto you as you believe. And if you're looking at healing, then you are going to be motivated, whether it's your guardian angels or your inner voice or whatever, to be directed to certain places and spaces that are going to help you with your healing. But it starts with making a step, taking one step at a time. And when you take a step, you'll find there are other forces that are with you.
Speaking of steps, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with but a single step.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And these 12,268 ambassadors,
Yes.
I invited them to this mission one at a time.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, you are a remarkable man. You really have a lot to share to the world because this is the right time. You're not just doing this just haphazardly for yourself and maybe a few of us, but you are the change that we all want to be. So
I appreciate hearing that. There's this, I don't know if you've ever heard it, but I always remember hearing someone say, a wise old man once said, I don't know if you ever heard that saying. A
Yeah.
wise old man once said, I'm the
Mhm.
wise old man now.
Right. That's
Right
what you
on.
are.
Right
That's
on.
right.
Well, I'm a
And I-
little older than you, so
And
I
I
guess
really
I'm your
like
brother.
being old. I really enjoying being old. I still
Yeah.
dance. I still sing. I still party like a young man.
Yeah.
So, am I
It's just
old?
more economical.
In numbers,
Yeah.
I'm old, but not in
Yeah, because,
my brain.
Yeah.
No.
No, we're not. Yeah, there you go. We are the world, we are.
And we're all
Yeah.
connected.
Mhm.
We're
We
all
are.
connected.
And I'm
Yes,
so
we
glad
are.
you guys. I was so surprised when I met you, um, that you're from California. I'm going, what? It's like great.
Wow, we're a trilogy here.
We're all natives
We're
from the
natives.
same
The
space.
same state. Yes, the same space.
We had to go different routes, but at the end of the day, here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
And I believe that we have experienced this before, in other timelines and
Well,
other
there's
realities.
nothing
You
more-
never, when you connect with someone, that person was in your life at another time.
Well,
Because
one of my
look at-
sayings as a philosopher is everything happens as it should when it should. And am
That's
I concerned that this isn't a viral with 12 million or 120 million people adopting? No, it's going to grow by what is it? What's the green? What is it called? Grassroots. This is a grassroots mission, kindness revolution that's growing one person at a time. And believe it or not, most people don't even have the time, even though they're learning and they're accepting what I'm saying and they're loving it. They don't have the time to tell someone else about it because they're so concerned with making money, and that's legit. I mean, come on, you have to be concerned about yourself because number one commitment is being kind to yourself. That means taking care of yourself so you can take care of others. Be happy, and that's our goal in life is to be happy. But so, am I upset that it's not? That not everyone's enjoying it. By the way, the other day, I want to write a book. I've written a book, and I'm looking for a publisher. And the guy said, when I met you, and he was Ambassador 111. He is Ambassador 111. Once you're ambassador for life. And he said, I'll never forget our conversation. It was inspiring, and blah blah blah. And I'm thinking, it affected him. I affected him. The philosophy affected him. And he says no to the book. I'm thinking, and he had the personal experience how it affected him. So why wouldn't he say this could help everybody? I mean, the logic is if it helped him, it would help everyone, and it is. It's helped 12,268 people, right? You guys are two of them, and so it's like,
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me. He said no.
You're
It is
doing
what it is. Am I upset? No. Everything happens
And
as
this-
it should when it should.
Yeah.
That's right.
And we're still respecting those that have a different choice, because whether you ascend or descend, you're still in the same mix. It's the same stuff. It's the same God Most High energy.
Yeah.
It's just that some just choose to have different choices. And generally, when you choose to have a choice to descend, to be in confusion, to be in conflict, to be in a stressful situation, when you generally, what you end up doing, reincarnating, so you can try to balance the karma that you've helped to put out and experience on others during the lifetime you were here. So it all balances out. It's just that most of us can't see the big picture. And the big picture is being able to step back and know that you don't know everything other than you are part of the whole. and everything is in divine order.
Well put. And unfortunately, it's easier to fail than to succeed because you can blame it on your mother, your father, the color of your skin, your environment, and
Well,
everybody blames everyone and everything except themselves.
Yeah.
the
That's it.
blame game.
The blame game. I hate the blame game.
That's not good.
And they spend millions of dollars to find the blame. Sometimes it takes 10 years, 20 years to put the blame on who killed JFK, the blame on the 9/11, the blame here, the blame there. They spend so much money. What difference does it make after 20 years, 100 years, who killed Lincoln?
Yes. Yeah, and we know that it was a challenge time, and we have to move on and try to avoid that from happening again.
And once again, not only being gratitude, but forgiveness, forgiving everyone, not just yourself. That's going to come as you forgive others. Because things in your life are going to pop up, and you'll have an opportunity to forgive and make some kind of concessions or to the person if they're here, or words if they passed on. But yeah, it just gets better and better.
More forgiveness, less regret.
There you go.
That's right.
There you go.
You guys, I'm so happy to have you in my life, in our community. You guys are on a fantastic path. I'm so happy that you found each other and you love each other and you're together. That's a really big part in enjoying each day, because you get to wake up next to someone that you love. And by the way, Joe, the secret to a long marriage is every morning look at your wife and when you wake up and say, "I'm sorry." Because you probably did something to piss her off yesterday, and she's not even telling you about it. What's that?
Well, when you're married to double Capricorn, Capricorns are considered the judge. So you learn to live the life of being judged and saying, "Forgive me, Judge. Forgive me, Judge. I'll do better next time. Believe me, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Have patience with me. I'm working on it."
That's right. Yeah.
You guys have a fantastic evening over there in Gambia. Call anytime you like. Let's work together for a better humanity. What I would like from you guys now in closing, because this is going to go out throughout Gambia, send a message to Gambia.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And what kind of message?
A message of hope and summing up what we just went through together in this hour, and telling them about kindness and about health and about happiness. Just sum up, so that if someone at the end of the day, maybe I just use this clip to show off this interview in Gambia, what they can learn. So each of you take your time and just talk to your country. Or you can talk to California. Okay. Either one.
Well, we'll send you our song, "Love is the Answer." I mean, when you think of kindness, I think of love. So, hey, you got it.
I just want to make one comment. For the past 2 days since I've spoken to you, I have written information to people using the word fantastic. You are a fantastic, wonderful couple. And also with my chefs, they were all laughing because I said, my goal now is to use fantastic in my vocabulary as often as possible. So thank you, Dr. Fantastic.
And Gambia should say fantastic.
Yeah, the Gambia fantastic. Yeah, that's right.
Gambia is fantastic. There was one of my supporters. There was a general in Nigeria who was very enthusiastic about this, as most people, when they finally hear about it. He made up these T-shirts with our logos and wrote "Nigeria is fantastic" across it, and it's the rave. Wherever he goes, people are commenting on it. So you guys should one day make "Nigeria is fantastic" or "Gambia is fantastic" or "California is fantastic." I can't wait for you guys to go back to California and help share this with Californians.
Yes, yes, we can't wait.
California, here we come.
Exactly. Maybe we'll see you sometime.
Yeah, we'll have you over for dinner, man. We'll kick it.
I don't mind coming to Guatemala because we do have a friend and a family there. And they've been wants to come for the past 20 years. So
Well,
it's an
Antigua is the
opportunity.
most visited city in all of Central America here in Guatemala. We had an earthquake last night
Yeah.
again. We had a really big one last week. The 2 years I've been here, we haven't had any, but we've been shaken. We have a live volcano. There are 1 million people descend on this place every year during Holy Week. It's the most religious place on the planet next to the Vatican. It's quite a remarkable city. It was built in the 1500s. You'll love it. So come visit, please.
Yes,
Oh, absolutely.
most definitely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Guys, oh, it's fantastic. You guys are fantastic. So this will air on Monday. I think it's the last Monday in July. Yeah, in July. We're in
Okay,
July,
so-
right?
Fantastic.
So
Exactly.
you'll send us a link?
I'll send
So
you
we
the
can
link,
share
a
it with
reminder, and all that good stuff.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Fantastic. Bye-bye.
Fantastic.
Welcome to the Be Fantastic channel, where you will find many fantastic interviews with amazing people,
Visit the top world museums,
incredible zoos,
beautiful national parks.
special events, and much more.
These videos are designed to educate,
Inspire.
motivate, and entertain you.
We hope you will enjoy them.
Join the Be Fantastic philosophy.
Please subscribe.
Like and share.
Was that a fantastic interview? Those two are amazing people. They really have a lot of knowledge and they're a lot of fun to talk to. Well, it's that time of the show for Dr. Fantastic Cooks. And you're going to find typically a fast, economical, delicious, and nutritious recipe. And so enjoy it. And I'll see you next week. Or I'll see you at the end of the show. How's that sound? Talk to you later.
Fantastic day to one and all. Monte here, aka Dr. Fantastic. You know, if you've been following me around the world on the Be Fantastic tour, Be Fantastic World Tour, I called it, the Kindness Revolution, you'll know that everything I do is to promote kindness. And in Belize, I proved a concept that if you write "be kind" on trash, which were boards I found all along the island in Ambergris Key, people will buy it and people will steal it. And so I ended up with about 300 signs around the island, and it's still a tourist attraction there. And I introduced it to one of the locals there, and he's now making signs and making money with the words "be kind" on it. Here in Antigua, I took little rocks that resembled Fuego, the volcano here, and painted them yellow again and put "be kind" on them. And kind words like love and kindness, but "be kind" are the two words that resonate with everyone. And people would steal all the rocks. I couldn't leave them on the street. They all disappeared. And now I'm putting "be kind" signs again here in Antigua. See if they get mad at me. But the coup de grace. You know, people are not always going to buy signs. They're not always going to buy rocks. But what they will buy is cookies. Delicious cookies. Now, I bake. I'm not a baker. I'm a chef. And I baked some cookies, a batch of cookies, and wrote kind words on it. And I just ate all of them except two. So I had to make this video before the last two were gone. Because if a school is for a fundraiser, for them, not me, for them, not for the revolution, for them, or a place of worship, for the church, for the synagogue, for all the places of worship, or somebody wants to make money, like the guy in Belize. And there's a lot better chefs out there. There's a lot better pastry chefs out there than me. These cookies were delicious. I mean, they were soft and delicious, and they carry a message. So here's the deal. It's called the kindness cookie. And anyone, anywhere in the world can bake a cookie. It takes a little practice. And they can buy the accoutrement to write words on them and sell them. I don't know if you've been to events before. We just did the FACE event, which is fantastic art caravans everywhere this last weekend to promote art and kindness. But whatever event you go to, there's people selling food. If you go to the Central Park here in Antigua, there's a lot of people selling food. And food sells because we got to feed our belly. So I'm suggesting that if you want to make money for yourself, keep all the money, invest a few dollars, bake some cookies, go door to door, stand on the side of the street, people will buy the cookie. Girl Scouts of America sells cookies nationwide. They should adopt this. Maybe they already do sell canned cookie. I don't know. But I know that a kind cookie will sell. It carries a message of kindness, which the world needs. We need to be kind to ourselves. We need to be kind to others. We need to be kind to our planet. And that's my mission. That is the kindness revolution. So everything I do is designed to promote the kindness revolution. And I hope you're part of it. And if you're not, you should join at worldkindnesslist.com. It's free. That's the biggest problem is it's free. People don't get free. But history will show that the kindness revolution is the first thing in history that's free. Because we're not going to make money from it. We don't want to make money from it. We won't make money from it. It's my gift to the world. I say our because there's a lot of people helping me that love what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. It's better to give than to get. And these cookies are delicious. They really are. And again, I'm not a pastry chef. So make a delicious cookie. It's even better. I mean, you don't want to make a distasteful cookie. And you don't want to put bad words on it, that's for certain. But make a good cookie. A delicious cookie. I'm sorry, did I say good? Make a fantastic cookie. Put kind words on it. Love, peace, happiness, harmony. Love thy neighbor, whatever, but definitely put be kind. That's going to be your biggest seller. Put it on a shirt, put it on a hat. Be kind will sell. And people need to make money. And I've developed lots of ways where people can make money. Go to the foundationforworldharmony.org. We've got them listed. Befantastic.Today, worldkindnesslist.com, drfantasticsworld.com, Befantastic Facebook, Befantastic YouTube, Befantastic02 Instagram, Dr. Fantastic on X, all promoting kindness. Please join the kindness revolution. We need a kinder world. We need it. We really need it. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share these videos, especially this video, because this video will help a lot of poor people that need to make a buck. It will help a lot of schools that need to raise some money for their school. Raise money for their school. It'll help a lot of churches because churches like to raise money. It'll be the most popular cookie at a pastry event or any event. Anyway, you got the deal. You got it. More information, go to worldkindnesslist.com. I pretty much covered it here, though. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. Have a fantastic day. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and be kind to Mother Earth. Bye-bye.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. I sure enjoyed talking to those two. It was my second lengthy conversation with them. We covered a lot of subjects, as you saw, and I had fun. I hope you had fun. And again, until next week, whatever you're doing that's making you happy, keep doing it. If you're growing a garden, baking goods, making Be Kind cookies, that's gonna raise money for your charity, for your school, for your place of worship, for you. Whatever you put Be Kind on, people will buy it. Put it on t-shirts, on hats, whatever you put it on, people will buy it because those two words resonate with people. Okay, so next week, I'll see you. I'll keep doing what you're doing. Keep being happy. And thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and share.
I met Dr. Fantastic along life's way, and I heard him say, you gotta say, I am fantastic, la la la, I am fantastic. You can feel it if you say it. It ain't a game, you gotta learn how to play it. Fantastic, fantastic. Just listen to doctor. He's a rocker. He walks around all day. He ain't plastic. He's not sarcastic.